Hollywood loves art heists. It's been the focus of several glamorous films, but it's big business and big news. The FBI says that the black market for art is worth about $6 billion a year. Famous and not so famous pieces are equally targeted. Edvard Munch's The Scream has been the target of several high-profile thefts, some of which were successful. The Mona Lisa was stolen in 1911. In 1972, the Montreal Museum of Fine Arts was the site of the largest art theft in Canadian history, when armed thieves made off with jewelry, figurines, and paintings worth, at the time, more than $2 million. Anne-Louise Seago, AXA Art's vice president and senior fine art underwriter in Canada, explains how insurance comes into play in such art nappings.
The perils that are typically covered under an art policy would be theft, fire, flood, earthquake, accidental damage, and certain policies again would exclude them. So I can't say, what every insurer's coverage is, but they're the typical coverages that are covered under a policy. So we call it all risks of physical loss or damage. How insurance plays into a stolen work is, we have relationships with people like the Art Loss Register. They essentially hold a database of stolen artworks that are logged once they're stolen, and believe it or not, some of these pieces turn up to be sold years later. And if it can go through the database, it can actually be seen that it's been, it's all of a sudden at auction somewhere in Europe, and it was stolen 10 years ago somewhere else in the world. So, insurance and the registers and things that we have available as databases actually help us. We can offer rewards and things like that, which isn't a standard practice, but we'll do what we can to actually find those works in the event they're stolen. We also have, under our policy, a loss buyback clause. So in the event that AXA have paid out a total loss on the Munch Scream when it was stolen, then if in the really happy event that it's recovered at some point in time, that we can actually offer that piece back to the original owner in exchange for the original amount that they were paid out. So, it goes back to sort of trying to help and be around and be mindful of what we're insuring and the importance it has to people.
But is stolen art the biggest worry for private collectors or museums? And Louise says that the heists are not the insurer's biggest worry.
Much as stolen art seems to hit the headlines way more than anything else, it isn't actually the most likely occurrence that we have. The majority of the claims that we have are unfortunately around transit of works or works that are being deinstalled to be packed and then shipped and then reinstalled in an exhibition. So it's all around the methods of transit because that work, the artwork, is most vulnerable. And so they, in the far majority, take over. I would say 75% of the claims that we have are as a result of transit damage. But they don't make the headlines because they're not as interesting.